Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something nice and light after the last few life updates. I'm finally going back and trying Colourpop. So I gave up on Colourpop quite a few years ago. Quite frankly, I got sick of the literal constant releases and the fact that they never kept any of their core product line in stock. It was so annoying to fall in love with a product and then not be able to get the refill when you finish it. I hated falling in love with a product and then not being able to either recommend it because it was never in stock, or if it was a consumable that I would use up, I would not be able to buy another one. It was just so annoying to me. But I have heard good things recently that apparently they're slowing down on their releases and their products are, going viral again. There's a few good products, so I decided what better way to jump back in than to pick up their Christmas mystery box. So I saw these the day they dropped. I snagged one. I forgot how much I paid for it because it's been sitting back here since I got it because I wanted to unbox it with you guys. But it was like a flat fee and I got an entire box worth of goodies. So I have no idea what's in here. I have some history with Colourpop products I can talk through as we go through this. But I thought this would be a nice, fun, light video and a nice way for me to steep my toe back into the Colourpop ocean. So before we jump in, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified whenever new videos do go up, whenever they go up. Alright, so this is the box that they came in. I have not opened it yet, so let's take a quick look. Ooh, that's what we're looking at. Alright, I'm just going to dive right in. Alright, first thing is not a makeup product. I knew they started coming out with skincare, I think, but I didn't know they had, oh, this is the Fourth Ray brand, that's right. I kind of forgot, all of, the spin-off brands that Colourpop had, but, a nice little jade roller. This would be nice for keeping in the fridge, actually, so I will keep this in the fridge. Right, next, the Luxe lipstick. I don't know what shade this is in. Let's find out. Ooh, it's in a pretty nice shade. Let me see, the shade is Gamer Girl. Okay. Oh, it's a nice shade. Let me see how it looks at this look. It's actually not a bad nude on me. What do you think? I think it's a pretty good shade. Well, yeah, pleasantly surprised so far. Okay. Next, what is this? This is the Light Sticks. I'm guessing this is a highlighting stick. Oh, it looks a little dark for me. Yeah, that's probably gonna have to be a blush topper on me, but it's a pretty shade. Ooh, I think I see a single shock shadow. I do see a super shock shadow. This is in the shade In the Saddle, and it looks pinky. So here it is, and there is the swatch. It's actually really pretty. It's lighter, more nude than I thought it would be looking at it in the pan. That is pretty. That is very pretty. And I gotta say, I hated how much space they took up, but I loved my super soft shadows. There was one in the shade Sailor. That was my favorite. It was like a light taupe with blue and green flecks, a sparkle in it, and it was so pretty. I literally went through 2 full containers of just that one shadow. Loved it. So we'll see. And actually, like I said, it looks like they're keeping to a theme. It looks pretty cohesive so far. Am I impressed, or are my standards just on the ground? Maybe a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Next, we have the Party Proof Eye Primer. I didn't know Colourpop had an eye primer. Probably half of this video is going to be like, I didn't know they had this. Cool. I've never tried this before. Is it a wand? It is a wand. Okay. I'm actually going to pop this into my everyday makeup basket and give this a try because I think I'm almost done with the current eye primer that I have. Next, we have the Feather Effect Brow Pen. These I usually don't have good luck with because I like my dark black brows, and they usually don't make brow products in dark, deep blue black. So let me see. Yep, that's really, really warm brown. So I'm not going to use this. I am going to save this for someone else who could get use out of it. Alrighty, next we have the Blotted Lip in the shade Purr. Let's see what this looks like. Ooh, that is pretty. I'll swatch it all the way over here. That is pretty. Right there. It's got a nice smell too. Alright, we are getting into palettes. Oh, wow, there's a lot of palettes in here. Okay, first we have the Going Coconuts palette, and honestly, I was at Target the other day, and I was looking at the Colourpop palettes, which got me interested, but then I realized I had this mystery box on the way, so I didn't want to pick anything up until I knew what I was getting, but I was actually looking at this palette. It's a really pretty neutral palette. I've been in love with neutral shades lately, so this is going right into my everyday makeup basket. I cannot wait to try this one out. And I gotta say, out of all the Colourpop palettes, the ones I really did like, I didn't like them as much as their original palette formula, but these like 9-pan kind of monochromatic palettes, I remember liking a lot. So now this one, I don't know if I would have picked this one up by myself, but they included the Lilac You a Lot palette, which, as the name would imply, it's a very, pretty lilac palette. Okay. I feel like I probably wouldn't do a full lilac look nowadays, but we'll see. We'll see what I can get into. But this shade right here looks super duper pretty. I think I owned this at one point. Following that up, I've got the Honey palette. But I remember I used to love yellow eyeshadow, and I was like on the search for like a perfect yellow. And I remember I think I owned this palette at one point. Yes, I think I owned this. I forgot why I decluttered it. I think I had another yellow palette or similar shades in another palette. But this is pretty. The only one I don't like is that middle, that glitter. It's actual glitter, and I'm just like not a huge fan. But the rest of these shades, especially like these down here, are so pretty. Okay. Can't wait to jump back into this. Right, and then I think the last product in here is one of their bigger palettes. So this is the Heavy Petal palette. Oh, and the pans are a lot bigger than their other palettes, but that's a really pretty color story. Look at that. I am shocked the pans are this big. I don't think I've ever seen a Colourpop palette with pans this big. I'm definitely used to the smaller pans you see in the 9-pan palettes. Like, just for comparison here, that's the size of the 9-pan palette, and then that's the size of this palette. They're huge. Like, these shades in the middle are absolutely calling my name. They're like some peachy kind of shimmers. Pleasantly surprised. I think that's the theme of this video. Pleasantly surprised. And that's everything in the box. So do I think that was worth this amount of dollars? I need to look up how much I paid for this. $49. Okay. After checking my email, I paid $49 for this box. I would say based on like just the palettes alone, I think that's well over, let's not drop and break them. This is well over $49 if I remember how much these cost. But to me, the value of the box, mostly in the palettes, pleasantly surprised by the palette choice, the palette variety. I also really like the eyeshadow primer that was included, and I'm pleasantly surprised by this lipstick. I am actually gonna go out to eat for Alvin's birthday tonight, so I will see how this lasts, but it feels comfortable. It's a really good shade. I like the shades of the rest of the products that we got. The Super Shock Shadow was a really, really nice addition. I think the only dud, or maybe dud, is this like highlighter stick, which is too deep for my complexion, but I can use it as like a blush topper or something. So overall, pleasantly surprised. I will throw these into my everyday makeup basket and in my collection, and I will continue testing them and see once and for all if I can forgive Colourpop and go back to their products. We'll see how these turn out. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below what your experience with Colourpop has been in like the last 6 months, if you placed orders or tried their products. Very curious, because I think the last time I placed a Colourpop order was probably like 2020. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Thank you guys for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.